Yes guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another review. Today we've got the Transformers Legacy G2 Laser Optimus Prime. So guys, we're going to crack straight on with this one. Here we have G2 Laser Optimus in his alt mode. And as you can see, he does make up this really awesome looking fuel tanker truck. And rather interestingly, this guy does actually come packaged in his alt mode straight out of the box, which OG Transformers fans will know that is how the figures used to come. So yeah, definitely interesting to see that return. I'm just going to show you the trailer quickly and then we'll take a look at the detailing on the truck. So here's the trailer. It is just cast out of this grey plastic, but it does look quite nice. Got some red painted detailing. As you can see, there's loads of sculpted detailing on there. Some metallic silver on there for the wheels. Up top we get some really nice greebling, sculpted detail. Got a little hatch there to access what's inside potentially. It is just sealed up, but it's implied that it's a little access hatch. You can remove this piece and it does function as a turret, which integrates with this when it transforms into its base mode. However, you can attach it to the top of the truck using this 5mm port here. So you can weaponize the truck mode, which is cool. So that's that. And this does open out into a base mode, which I'll show you later on. And one last little feature that we get while it's in the trailer mode, you can fold that piece down so that you can just have it stood up on its own without being connected to the truck. So that's that. Onto the truck then. As you can see, we get a nice metallic silver painted Autobot insignia there. It is only on that one side, there isn't one on the other side, so it is just on that side. We get this really nice blue tinted effect on the cab windows, which looks good. Metallic silver here on the smokestacks. There is no metallic silver on these horns and these light pieces on here, sadly, but they do still look quite nice, sculpted on there. Got that 5mm port on top, which you can tab that turret piece into. Get some flame detailing on the hood section, which looks really good. These pieces aren't painted sadly either. They should be in that metallic silver, but they're just done in this black colour. They are the air filters for the truck, but they do look quite nice. It's just a shame that they've not been painted in that silver colour. Do get some little ports here. So if you've got some of the weaponizer figures, you can add some more back here. You can add any of those weapon attachments really to kit out the truck mode. Some yellow detailing on here and metallic silver for the headlights. And then obviously this front grille section is all decked out. No paint on these oil drums that are on the sides. Bit more metallic silver paint for the wheels, which looks good. Really nice sculpted detailing on the back here, which this is just the legs section. So it's not intended to be anything other than just the truck bed. But yeah, it's looking really good. Around to the back, there are some very minor sculpted tail lights, but no paint on those. And they are just the feet folded up, essentially. And then we get these sections here that make up the arms. These pieces can be quite annoying because they just flap around while he's in his alt mode. It's only when he's in bot mode that they actually fold up and connect in. So they can be a little bit annoying. Get some side steps here as well. Down to the bottom, not a lot going on really. That's just part of the shoulder pads for the alt mode. And then these are the laser cannons underneath, which you can actually tab some blast effects into. It works better when he's in bot mode really, but you can tab some in there. So if you wanted to create like sort of a jet boost effect with the truck mode, you can have that going on. Make it look like he's boosting over something. Just going to show you a couple of quick comparisons guys, and then we'll get straight onto the transformation. So first up we have him alongside the Transformers 1 Prime Changes Bumblebee. Looking awesome in his Cybertronian alt mode. Obviously it doesn't quite line up with this version of Optimus, but as a general sort of size comparison, you can see Bumblebee is a deluxe class and this version of Optimus is a leader class. As you can see, the truck mode is significantly bigger than Bumblebee's car mode. Also got from the same wave, that is the Legacy Prime Universe Knockout figure, who we will be doing a review of soon, so stay locked to the channel for that. And then the last one I've got, mainly because it integrates into the base mode, that is the Transformers Legacy Core Class Optimus Prime in his alt mode. And as you can see, he is a tiny version really of Optimus, tiny little truck mode, but it does integrate quite well into the base, which I'll show you later on. So in order for us to get there, we need to transform him up first, so let's crack on with that. Right, first step, we're going to just fold these canisters there into the legs. Next, we're going to detach the arms from these panels here, and then we're going to fold those over just to cover up those knees a little bit, like so. Then we're going to come to these hinge pieces on the side and just hinge them up out of the way. Do that on both. And then we can take the legs and just bring them down using these hip joints. And then we're going to go ahead, bring out the toes, bring out the heels, and then we can separate the legs. Next, what I'm going to do is pull this section up, like so. And then what I like to do is just hinge these pieces out of the way, just to give us a little bit of extra room. And then we can go ahead and separate these two pieces here, which are going to create the shoulders. And they are on double hinges, so you can just hinge those out of the way to give you a bit of extra clearance and room to work. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take this section and just fold it out like so, and then we can rotate at the waist to bring the legs this side. Pull that back a bit more, and then we're going to rotate this whole chest section out like that, and then there's an extra little bit here in the middle which we're just going to hinge out. It is just softly tabbed in, so just be careful with it because it does tend to pop off, and that's just going to tab into place like that, which is going to form the chest. Then we can bring out the head. Got to move these shoulder pieces out of the way so we can bring out the head up and over. And these arm pieces, you just want to make sure that they are brought out to here, as if you don't do it in the correct sequence, these pieces end up getting stuck and then you can't move them. So once that's like that, you want to tilt this piece back so it's like that, and then we need to fold up these panels on the sides again. Once we've done that, we can bring all this down on top so that those little side step pieces that we saw earlier are going to tuck in under there. Then we can bring this chest plate down, and that is just going to tab over those sections there to close it all up. And then we can bring the piece that's holding the head down and clip that on top. Next, I'm going to come to this backpack section, and there is just a little panel that folds out in here. It is quite tricky to get a bit of purchase on it. You just want to fold that out and down like that, and then we're going to just rotate this backpack section up and just tab it into place, and that panel just serves as a little gap filler in there. It creates his little jetpack, which is quite cool. Next, I'm just going to bring these shoulder joints up like that. And then we're going to bring these arm shoulder sections in, and they're just going to tab into place on there. So do that on both sides, get those tabbed in. Then we can rotate at the bicep swivel Do that on both sides. And then in order to get the hands out, we just need to lift this panel up, fold out the hand, which is on a ball joint, and then just close that panel back up. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Flip that panel up, fold the hand out, close that panel back down. And then the last step, what we can do is just, using those double hinges again, collapse these laser cannons that make up the shoulders down and fold that piece back over. Do the exact same thing on the other side, double hinge that down, fold that over. And there we go, there's Optimus in his bot mode. So I'm going to set him off to the side for now while we transform the trailer, and then I'll show you both together. So with the trailer, what you want to do is just rotate that piece back up for now, and then we're going to grab this black piece here that's attached to, and it is on a hinged piece as well as a ball joint. So you just want to hinge it up and then spin it round on that ball joint so it looks like that. Next, we're going to separate the two halves. You just bring them down like so. And then we can go ahead, fold that ramp section down. And then just so you can see it a bit clearer, I'm just going to remove this piece. It is hinged in the middle, so you just fold all that down to create this tower. And then we're going to fold that turret piece back over to create this little gun turret. Then what we can do is grab this piece here, and it has got a claw arm attached to it. You can just maneuver this piece under there like that to bring out that claw. And it is just on a 5mm post, which, as you can see, we get plenty of different 5mm ports. So you can have this stationed wherever you want, really. But it is implied that you tab it in the middle there, and then you can actually have some of your smaller figures driving up this ramp up to this claw arm, and then it can do some repairs on it. So I'll just bring in that core class Optimus fig just to show you what that looks like. So you can have him driving up there, and then we can have that claw arm doing some repairs on him. And you can actually station some of your figures inside the base if you want to as well. It does work better with these core class figures, as they are a much more suitable size and scale. And then just finally, guys, there is some weapon storage inside the base. So as you can see, we've got Optimus's sword stored away on that side, and his axe stored away on that side. On to the accessories then. As you can see, we get a very nice looking Energon sword, and then we also get this Energon axe, which also looks very interesting. And the handle is on this hinge piece, so you can just hinge it away like that if you want to store it inside the base. And you can combine the weapons, so there's just this slot at the end of the axe here where you can take the sword and just connect all that up to create what is essentially the Star Saber. So let's bring in Optimus, show you what that looks like. Just slide into his hand like that. There we go, that's what that looks like. As you can see, it is quite long now that it's all connected up, but it does create for a really nice look. Really badass. So let's have a closer look at the figure then. Here is Laser Optimus, looking decked out, ready for war. Get these massive laser cannons on the sides of his shoulders, which you can hinge these pieces open to reveal the laser missile warheads in there. They're not removable, they're just solid translucent plastic, but they do look really nice. And you can tab blast effects into these, as I showed you earlier. So you can have that effect going on. Looks pretty cool. So here we have Optimus's head. It is slightly different to the G1 design, as you'd expect. You get a lot more of these flared out antenna pieces on this one, and particularly on the eyes, they did try and do some light piping. I believe the eyes are like done in that clear translucent plastic, but then if you come around to the back, there's not actually any piping done to the back, so it kind of feels like they wanted to do light piping and then they just abandoned it right at the last minute, which is a shame, as the eyes do look a little bit dead, unfortunately. As you can see here inside the chest, we do get a Matrix of Leadership piece. It's just the standard one that we're used to seeing, really. It does have one of those little ports on the back of it, so you can put blast effects into it. And he can actually hold it, because he's got these sculpted hands that are open between the thumb and the finger. So you can fit the Matrix in there if you pose him up correctly. Chest plate looking really nice, some metallic silver. Get some nicely sculpted mechanical detailing down here, as well as this blue paint here in the middle. These shoulder pads have a little bit of yellow on them, which look quite interesting. Definitely something different for an Optimus design. Not a lot going on with the arms, really. Fairly plain. Hip section, again, fairly plain. A little bit of sculpted detailing. Down to the legs. Down to the legs, we get some more nice sculpt work. Obviously, it's nothing that we've not already seen, as these were entirely visible in the alt mode. Round to the back, we get some more of these 5mm ports. So again, if you've got some of those weaponizer figures, you can definitely add those pieces to this guy. Get some more on the back of the arms here as well, so you can upgrade him using your other figs, and you get one on there as well. So onto the articulation then. The head is on a ball joint, so it will go a full 360. It is really tight on my copy, and one thing I've noticed with the ball joint is, if I just pop the head off a second, you can see that it's just, there's no clearance between the ball joint and the neck piece. So when the head is attached on there, it's just, there's just no room to move it at all. It's sitting so tight to that neck, so you just don't really get any posability out of the head at all. It just feels like it's going to break if you try and turn it. So there's obviously no up and down because it's so tight. You can lift this piece up to fake it a little bit, but yeah, that ball joint is a serious issue. It should have been raised up a little bit. There should be more on the stalk of it, really, to give you better articulation. I'm not sure if it's just a quality control issue or whether they're all like that. Definitely something to be aware of. The arms are on hinges, so you can hinge all the way up out to there. Obviously these shoulder pad laser cannons are going to block the articulation. You can go back to there. There is a bicep swivel. There's a 90-degree bend at the elbow. The wrists are on ball joints because of the transformation, so if you lift this piece up, you can get upwards and downwards out of the wrist. But while that piece is folded down, it just serves as a swivel. Down to the waist, it is on a swivel, and it will go a full 360 as required in transformation. Hips are on hinges, so you can get full splits out of him. Standard Legacy articulation, really. He'll kick out to there. He'll kick back to there. There is a thigh swivel. It is quite tight on this one. There's just past 90-degree bend on the knee. Down to the feet, we do get this toe articulation and heel articulation, so that folds up in transformation, and then there is an ankle rocker as well. Got a few more quick comparisons to show you then, guys. So here he is with that Transformers 1 Prime Changes Bumblebee, who is a deluxe class as stated earlier, and Optimus is a leader, so he is significantly taller than B. But they do go quite well together actually, even though they're from two completely different universes. They do look quite cool. So that's how those two size up. Here he is with his wave mate, which is the Legacy Galvatron figure, who's also a leader class. And as you can see, there is a lot of bulk and heft to Galvatron. And even with those ginormous laser cannons on his shoulders, you would expect it to be a tough fight for Optimus to try and take on Galvatron. Definitely. So that's how he looks with Galvatron. And then just lastly, just for a little bit of fun, here he is with that core class Optimus fig from Legacy. And as you can see, he's about knee height, the core class fig just above knee height on that Optimus. And then just while we've got the core class one, I will show you what he looks like when he's on the base. So if you've got other core class figures, you can just display them along the base as you choose really. But yeah, they do go quite well with this base in terms of like the scaling of it and stuff. Final thoughts on Laser Optimus then, guys. Yeah, he's a really awesome figure. Definitely worth picking up if you haven't done so already. He's just a completely different design for Optimus really. Something that we're just not used to seeing at all. I like how there's plenty of different combos that you can come up with the weapons. As you can see, I've got the axe piece folded over there to create this little shield, which creates for an interesting look. Always good to get that matrix of leadership piece as well, stored away in the chest. And obviously it can be held as well by him, so it just adds to that displayability. Done a pretty good job with the base mode, as well as they could have done really for the budget and the price. You can still pick these up in the regular Legacy line, but they are re-releasing it rather interestingly, and it is due to come out this year in the Legacy United line. So I will drop some links down below for you if you do want to pick one up. But yeah, if you're in the UK, you can still buy them just in the regular Legacy line. So you won't have to pre-order it or anything, you can just pick one up now if you want to. So yeah, I'll drop some links for you down below. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Feel free to drop me a like, it is greatly appreciated. And if you would like to, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications, as we will have plenty more reviews coming for you. With all that being said, thank you very much for watching the video. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.